Welcome everyone back to the Pompey and Oz channel. Hope we're all doing really well. If you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel out. We can't thank you enough for the support. And we're here today with the VFL wrap. Round 7 is complete. KC Demons defeating the Blues 69-66 in what was a really hotly contested encounter. And it was an absolute, to be fair, it wasn't the greatest game you'll ever see, but it was definitely a game that you will watch and go, you learn quite a lot from it. You really did learn quite a lot from it. And it was a game that was really a blistering start by the Blues. Sam Durden, Marchbank and Domaku looking really solid in parts in that first quarter, as the Blues really got off to a hot start, a bit like the seniors. But has to be said, Melbourne came back, Casey came back incredibly hard. It was one of them games where you really saw the AFL talent on show. And one of them was Colton Thulstrop, who really gave Carlton problems. They didn't really have a natural matchup for him. When he went forward and when he went in the mid, he really did give Carlton problems, and he was an absolute incredible performer in this game. I really enjoyed what I saw. From him, particularly his just work in close and his work around stoppages, particularly the 3 clearances were really damaging. Lockie Hunter as well and Bailey Laurie really put it on, and Adam Tomlinson as well really showcased why he's probably too good for VFL level, but not quite at that AFL level. And it was one of them games, really, when you watched it, that was really tough. The forward, Ben Brown, gave them a really good test in the back line. And you kind of saw that some of these players really need to get a bit of time, bit of continuity. The big problem is with the VFL is with the injuries. We've changed this team so much. One of the positives for me was Heath Ramshaw, who we aren't going to feature because he's not on the AFL list, but again, another real solid performance against guys who have played a lot of AFL games. I really did enjoy his output. In the end, too much, really. It was quite an evenly matched contest, but I thought, particularly the third, the Blues were very wasteful, and they just didn't take their opportunities. It felt like a little bit of a lack of potency at the top half of the ground. But let's get into it, into the individual performances. Alzo Fantasia, 23 touches, 4 tackles, 1 mark, 6 inside 50s. Tried to get them going. I found this one a really weird one because he played a lot deeper, a lot shallower than we'd actually expect. He spent a lot of time in the midfield. And I understand why. He's got that touch of class. He's obviously been there and done it. I don't really see it as an avenue, though, in the seniors, if you know what I mean. I don't think you are going to play him. I did make the joke the other day that with Cherry, if he is out, you could probably see Vossi bringing this guy in as a midfielder. And then I watched the VFL and I was like, oh, no, maybe I'm right. And this could be an interesting one because he did some nice things. He got them going forward. He really got the game trying to go in the right way. But I did really want to see him forward. I wanted to see him slide forward, work off Lemmy, work off the bigs, and showcase what he is. It was a solid game for him, and no doubt he'll probably be in the coaches' votes. I've got a sneaky feeling that he probably will be because he had some moments of quality in the first that did break the game open. But for me, I want to see him do a bit more. I really do want to see him do a bit more, if I'm being honest. Jack Carroll, I really did enjoy Jack Carroll's game. And I think this might be an understated one. I mean, Binns, we're going to come on to him. He'll probably get the kudos. But 23 disposals, 5 tackles, 1 goal, and 5 inside 50s. And I thought he was a constant threat. And I thought he really did match up with a strong Melbourne midfield. He really did match up. Some real nice give and goes. And this will help him. I'm not going to itch for him to be in the seniors yet. I think he needs a couple of games here just to really embrace what he's doing. But in my opinion, I really enjoyed this game. I thought he was good both ways. He ran hard, created options, did the selfless thing. I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing. Up next, Caleb Marchbank, 15 touches, 3 tackles, 3 rebound 50s, 4 marks. I watched this game, and I was watching Kemp really closely in the Melbourne game, and I know that we all love Marchbank, and there is no getting away that his ceiling is incredible should he stay fit. But that fourth quarter, they got absolutely battered. Absolutely battered. They couldn't get it out. And Marchbank's distribution at this point in the third and particularly in the fourth were really... I watched it and I was slightly worried about it. I've got to be honest. I didn't see anything in this game that said to me, wow, wow. And I thought in his first quarter, he was really good, really direct. Now, is that game fatigue? Probably. But for me, I'm looking at the bye for Marchbank. I want to see 3 or 4 games. I want to see him really get there, put a bit of pressure on Kemp, because I think Kemp earns that role. And I think Marchbank's got it. But it was a solid game, that being said. Binzi, 43 touches. He was everywhere. I really enjoyed his defensive craft as well this week. Really tried to give him an option. Working with Murkoff on the wing in the fourth was really interesting. Murkoff was the target. This guy was working below his feet. That worked pretty well. It didn't get work enough, but it did work pretty well. He was everywhere, a constant menace. It was a very interesting game, this, because if anything, he was Blake Acres in this game. And that was quite interesting because he was everywhere. Got found, I thought he got found out body-wise a few times, but I mean, that being said, he is a winger. He's an evasive type player. I really did enjoy his lead-ups there. I liked he was offering options for the defence. He's hard two-way running, and you can see he's really starting to cultivate into something quite nice. The body will come, the understanding of the body will come, but all in all, Jackson Binns this is what you saw pretty much in the draft year for him, really. This is the Binns that we saw. And I want to see some more layers. I think there's some more layers to go. I'm really enjoying what he's doing, though, at the moment. It's really good. He'll be in and around the conversation. But I think, for me, it's plainly obvious when you watch VFL what we're looking for and what he's doing. And he's definitely executing that. And games like this really put in a statement. Times, I think he needs to tidy his disposal up. I really want to see him do that. I feel like he can take the safer options. It is tough, though, when you're playing with the players that you're playing with. Obviously, bombing it into Charlie and Harry, it's a little bit of a different context. You'll probably get more just reward, but a really solid game, and I gave him a 10. You can't argue with that, I don't think. David Cunningham, really enjoyed this. Inside and then a little bit of half forward. Very Elijah Hollands this game. Thought he was involved in everything good Carlton did. I really did enjoy it as well, the tackle intent. And he slot forward in between them bits, worked really well with Ned Cahill, which really excites me because Durden's playing quite higher up. Is this a straight swap? If it is a straight swap, he's probably done enough. If he's trying to take out Cottrell and Elijah Hollands, I don't think he's done enough. So it's going to be interesting to see which way the coach has played this game. I did enjoy what he was doing, though, especially his defensive craft. That's something that he's really added. And I feel like people really understate about Connors. You know him for the offense, but he's really adding them layers on the D. Harry Lemmy back to forward the majority of the game with the defenders being back. And what a nice little target. 10 touches, 1 goal, 2 tackles, 3 marks. Really enjoyed his game. I really enjoyed his leads from the pocket up to the wing. Gave them a constant outlet inside 50. This is his natural position. And I understand why they played him back. He's got a good taste from it. And I think the way that he led for the ball really showed that the defensive little flirtation he's had has probably helped him with his leading patterns, particularly, and a good understanding of what we're trying to entail, particularly coming out of D50. His work rate up the ground was really good. I really enjoyed his game. Lewis Young was under the cosh quite a lot. And this is where Carlton really did see the issues in the fourth with Durds and Young. With all due respect, they couldn't get the ball out. And this is why you can see the patterns that Carlton play. These guys are great stopgaps if there's injuries, but someone's going to have to remove the ball. Ben Brown, I thought, led him into space, which was a bit of a problem for me because this is something that I feel that our defenders that we saw this week, Kemp and McGovern particularly, they have such a good understanding of when to go and when not to. And when they do go, they're really offensive with it. So they're like, you know what, if I lose this, it's a goal, but I've got to go for it. Young, you can see this is not natural to him, and it's no knock on him because it's who he is. But you can see in the system that we play, it's a struggle for him. I'm a big fan of what he can do, but He worked hard, and that's something that I want to see him add. Feel like he's young enough to add them. Rob Monaghan playing up top, took his goal well, good mark as well that he took. The tackles are getting better. I really like what I've seen. It's an average game. I feel like he could have worked a bit more, but now Lemmy's there. He's got someone to really work off, and I'm a big fan of what Rob's doing. He's building nicely, really playing and taking the players on. He's not scared to make them runs. They'll find him as well. He gets in the right positions, and the numbers will come. But bravo, Rob. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. Billy Wilson, I'm loving a bit of Billy Wilson. I've got to say, the zip off the back line, becoming almost like the Adam Sard there, trying to take the game on. I thought he took the game on in the right moments. I do want to see that, and I think that if Sam Durden and Lewis Young are playing, they've got to start using this guy a bit more. I want to see this guy with 25 touches, and it's not in the terms of, oh, I want him to stat pad. I want to see them use it, because that's what they're going to have to do if they have to come into the seniors. They're going to have to rely on the players to get it out. But he makes these incredible runs. He's not scared to take the game on. He's building in confidence. And I really like what I see. Didn't play the full game. He was in and out. Obviously, I think they're just trying to work him in. 6 disposals, 1 mark, 3 rebound 50s. In the first, I thought his spoiling and stuff was really good, but then I felt like he got really found out. And this is what worries me, because in my opinion now, I think it's fair to say that Lewis Young is ahead of him. And I need to see something from Sam Durden in the terms of a little bit of accountability and a little bit of leadership in that back line. Definitely leadership in that back line, because I'm a huge fan of him being on the list, because he's obviously been there. He's done it. He's got the T-shirt, hasn't he? He's got the T-shirt. But in these type of games, I feel like you've got to... He's got to push on. He's got to push on and really add it. And I didn't feel as comfortable when the ball was going to him and Young as I did Marchbank. And I look at the games played. I look at the experience. I want to see Sam Durden be a little bit more reliable. And it needs to be a little bit better. But, I mean, it was a tough day. It was a tough day with their entries. Hudson O Keef, I really did enjoy his game. I thought his hit-out work was really good. I thought he really did the right things really nicely. And he was against Will Verrill and Tom Fullerton. And he didn't look out of place, because Fullerton and Verrill, they're on senior lists. And a lot has been made about Verrill, who I think Hudson O Keef can model his game on, and that hybrid guy. And he took his goal well, slots forward well. I really do like what I'm seeing from Hudson. He's really building nicely. And although the numbers don't blow you away, just watch that game there. He works incredibly hard, and I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. Domaku, another one who struggled in the back line. Ben Brown really got the better. And what was worrying is, I don't mind him getting the better of Domaku. I'm more worried when he's got the better of the other two senior players there. But he is literally playing probably for his career now. And I want to see a little bit more endeavour. In that fourth quarter, if you had to ask for a fourth quarter to showcase Domaku's skills, that was it. And I felt like he's holding back, and I don't know why. And I wish I could hold him. Just look him in the eyes and go, mate, take the game on. Take the game on. Be that player. Be that player. Showcase your skills. Because there is definitely development. I know people saying there isn't development. I think that's nonsense. You can see in his game and his bare skills, they're infinitely better. I want to see that it all together, though. And I feel like now we're at that situation where, have we overcoached the natural instincts out of him? I want to see that natural Dom that I fell in love with in his draft year. Ashton, this was a tough game, and these are the games that you really want to judge Ashton on, because these are the games that he can change a game, and I don't think he did. And he led well, but he never had that moment. He never had that moment. I want to see him get him involved more, and this is something that now Jack Martin's fit and training. Soap it up, my friend. Soap it up, because there is so much you can learn from that gentleman. He has got the ability, Jack Martin, to make you an incredible footballer, because there was just them moments and it felt a little bit loose. He was a little bit loose defensively as well, which I don't mind, because obviously we're looking at his offensive craft. But if he's not going to have any tackles, I want to see a lot of marks and a lot of conduit work. I didn't see it. This was one of them games where it's a real great lesson to have in the VFL, because I think he could have won this game. If I'm honest, and I don't want to pick on him, if I had to pick a player that I think could have won this game, this was the player. Because Carlton struggled to get it out of D50 in the fourth. when they did, it needed that moment of genius. And I feel like he is the genius there. And it didn't happen. And that's okay. It didn't happen. It's okay. And Murkoff, I thought he was really solid. He battered Fullerton and Verrill, which he should do. And this is a real confidence booster for him. I really like Murkoff. There's something about him, isn't there? You just fall in love with him. It was a real strong finish from him. Worked incredibly hard up the wing in the fourth. Like, for me, that was probably the best fourth quarter I've seen him play, just individual quarter, really showcasing his development. All in all, it was a poor day at the office for the Blues, but a lot of lessons learned, and that is a real good thing. And I hope we see the same seniors in this side. Maybe one might go with the seniors, but I think this is good for them because you're going to really showcase it. All in all, some good lessons to take out. And that's the VFL wrap. Let me know what you think. Peace, love, and light. Pom out.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby.